I don't really know how to start this video or, kind of just go about it. At first, I wanted to do a script just so like I can make sure what I wanted to talk about is talked about, but I feel like kind of going off the top of my head will be more ideal for getting the point, across. Don't you ever just wish you had control over your emotions? Like think about it, right? Obviously, you want to be more excited, you want to be more happy, you want to be more at peace, I feel like peace is like, it's an emotion in its own way. You want to feel motivated. And then there's the other emotions that we have. Sadness, anger, even love. Like, imagine, you guys, a lot of you guys probably know this, but like, that feeling, like when you like feel like your stomach is just dropping, your heart is like beating, and typically like you get that from like anger or sadness or like heartbreak. Like, you should kind of just in your room, like, to start out with, you're in your room and you're just like, there's nothing you can do about it. You kind of just got to deal with it. Or you're in a public setting and you just got to thug it out. I'm sure a lot of you guys like understand, like, or have been through that, I'd say majority of people have. And it has a strong effect on people. Especially like me. And that's kind of why I'm making this video. If you guys are a part of the Too Smooth family, you guys know that this channel is not about this. You feel me? It's mainly about hair content. I kind of go on with some vlogs sometimes. But you feel me? Like, I don't like putting my emotions out there like that. Like, it's weird. It doesn't feel right. Like, it feels weird. It doesn't feel right. And I'm mainly making this video not to be that person who just puts their feelings out there, but to kind of like document like where I'm at this point in my life. And also because I know there's people out there too who relate. I don't want you guys to take this video as like me trying to persuade you to do anything, but I just want to put myself out there to let you guys know that, you feel me? Like, these things are normal. I feel like we all go through them. We all just gotta get through it. But basically, I want to talk about just like taking control over the way we feel. And a lot of people might think I'm absurd for even thinking that, and I feel like they have reason to. Obviously, in all honesty, I don't think it's possible to have full control of your emotions, which makes sense. But what I mean by, all this taking control over emotion is like having control over how you react to your emotions, and being able to overcome emotions that you don't want and bringing in more of the feeling that you do want. First, I want to start by kind of like explaining like what brought this upon me to like share with you guys. First off, I'm one of the people who like keeping things to themselves. I don't really like expressing it. That's not my thing. I grew up in a household like I feel like where expressing how you feel is like something we do, but even just me like seeing how men are quote unquote supposed to be brought up in life. They're not supposed to share emotions and all that, which is totally fine. Because that's how I told myself I should be. But I kind of want to stick with that and not really like express how I feel, but express the general idea of like how I'm gonna take control over these things. But let's start with like what brought this on. Like, when you think about it, we all have moments in our lives where it's like you hit a point where it's just like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. And obviously me, like, I live in a nice house, I'm in college, I have all these things, but I still feel this way about certain things. And sometimes it can be overwhelming, stressful. I mean, it fills you with anxiety. Like, who wants to deal with that? No one wants to deal with that. Like, I mean, truthfully, it's like it becomes too much. And honestly, there was a trigger for it. There was a trigger for it. Now, I'm not gonna go saying any stories, but and I'm not gonna sit here and say it was a specific person, because it was multiple people, but it was someone who kind of just made me kind of want to do this. But yeah, so a lot of times what we do is we bottle up our feelings. We kind of just keep it aside, and we suppress like how we feel just to get through things and thug it out. And you know, I feel like that's fine to an extent, because at some point we have to deal with it, because it becomes a lot, something that we really just can't deal with. And something happened like past, I don't know, like a couple days ago, week, whatever. I'm sure some people could put this together. Most obviously not. I mean, it's not important. It's just a general idea of things. But it's not like, you know, anyone that I cared for passed away or anything like emotional like that. But something did happen to the point where it's like I just sacrificed the way I felt for my future self. And it's hard doing that. Like, I mean, if you feel some type of way, you obviously want to go about it, because like, you know, it's gonna hurt. But I kind of had to take past experience and just what I know to sacrifice the feelings that I had to put myself in a better position for the future, you know. And I think that's really what told me, hey, you gotta like, just, it hurts right now, but you gotta take control over other things in your life so that you can live happy. Like, I don't want to rely on anyone else like to be happy. Like, who does? And I'm sure many of you guys can agree. But, and you know, like, it's fine. Like, some people have most people have their parents. Some people, you know, things happen and life does suck. But you have siblings, you have friends. Like, don't take advantage of it, but enjoy it, embrace it. Like, I feel like we take a lot of things for granted and we don't use it as much as we should. But back to the topic, yeah, something happened, and it really hurt me, because I'm really one of those people who like to follow in with their emotions and doesn't like to disregard it just for their future selves. And I did this time because I knew like there wasn't gonna be a happy ending, you know. And when I came home, I sat and I listened to music and kind of stared at the ceiling. And I asked myself, do you really want this? And in the moment, obviously you want to say no. But you do. I thought about my future. I thought about all the situations and all the times that if I would have realized that I could have made a better decision for my future, I really could have and should have, you know. And it's something that I want to take control over. That's all there is to it. Now that we kind of understand like where it came from with being triggers, like for example, if you got a lot of people, I'm sure they could tell that like that little story or thing that triggered this. You know, it's corny, but it is heartbreak. I mean, that's what it is. But there's always something that triggers it. Like for someone else it could be anger, someone else it could be sadness, someone else it could be like the loss of happiness or anything. But for me it was heartbreak. And going on in the future, I'm serious. I really just want to, like I said, not control my emotions, but be able to tell myself, hey, you're gonna have to sacrifice this feeling now to better yourself in the future. And that goes beyond just like just love and heartbreak. It goes to like wanting happiness and peacefulness, and even just enjoying motivation, because sometimes we have motivation but we lose it, and we also take that for granted, and we don't realize like motivation is not always going to be there. There's going to be other things that we are going to turn to because we don't have motivation, and so we just got to be glad that we have that too. But I'm also not going to be one of those people who say I'm gonna delete all my social media, I'm gonna go off the grid and all this. But I don't want this video, I don't want you guys to mistaken the idea of trying to take control over these things and totally just distancing myself from certain things just so I can avoid it or whatnot. What I want to do is I really just want to put myself in a position so that I don't have to stress about things that I shouldn't be stressing about, or that anxiety that you feel after something that doesn't go your way, just being able to tell yourself, hey, you did what you could. There's nothing more to it. You kind of just gotta, it's time to deal with it, move past, and go enjoy your life. So first, I want to really just emphasize the fact that I'm not gonna be that person who just cuts off society, you feel me, and just like be a loner and all that. But what I am gonna do is I'm gonna distance myself to a point so I can really start to hear myself, listen to myself, and really understand how I feel about things. Because I think once I get to that point, being able to understand what I can do to solve these issues will become easier. And it really relates and correlates to my goals and like everything I want in life. Like obviously I want to have money. I want to be able to achieve like those minuscule goals that I have, those little goals like playing a certain song on the piano, or become really fit, getting my YouTube subscribers, you feel me? Those little goals. And emotion does play a huge part in it. Like think about the whole process of making a YouTube video, right? And a lot of YouTubers know this, but sometimes it's not that you get burnt out, but you kind of just ask yourself, well, what am I doing this for? So sometimes sometimes making videos, it's kind of like you really have to push yourself. So initially you feel like, I kind of just don't want to do this at the moment. So you're fighting that emotion. Then you're filming and it's fine, you feel me? Normally when you hit the zone, it's fine. Like you start filming already, so you're cool. But then you also have that emotion, it's like, oh, do I have enough videos? So you're kind of stressing out. And then you're finally done filming, and then you're like, oh, I gotta edit, you feel me? And you got all this editing to do, and you constantly think about it, you put it off a little bit, but then eventually you start editing. And you're editing, you're like, oh, I'm so tired, I don't want to finish this, it's too much. But you kind of just gotta push yourself, and then you finally finish the video, and then do all those things to upload it. My whole point in saying all this is like, everything we do to achieve goals, everything we do to like better ourselves, there's those negative emotions that's always stopping us. Think of school, for example. We know that we need an education to survive in today's society. I'm not saying go to college necessarily, but I'm saying like even graduating high school, I know high schoolers have this problem, because I used to be a high schooler. You don't want to do work. You don't want to like just listen to all these teachers, all the things that they have to say, because it's like, it feels so irrelevant. And I get it. There's all these things that we do that we just feel these emotions for. And when they all add up, it's overwhelming. And that's kind of where I want to connect to most people, is because I know you guys have those things out there where it's like, I don't want to do this, or like, I'd rather be doing something else. And I get that. But I feel like there's a way to take control over that. And I'm not gonna sit here and kind of just tell you guys that you need to delete all your social medias or anything, because when you think about it, nowadays our dopamine level is getting fed into like crazy, and so like our expectations for dopamine is way up here, right? Because we hop on our phones, boom boom boom, we go get junk food, we go get fast food, boom boom boom. Like if we want dopamine, we can get it very easily nowadays, and so our expectations for that is here. But then we have the things that we don't want to do. Like some people might be school, some people enjoy it, some things that might be school, some people might be work, some things that might be, there's many different things. And so there's the low emotions here, and so there's such a big gap here that's where we're always feeling anxious and stressed, right? So let's say our dopamine average is here, and the emotions that we constantly feel that we don't want to feel is down here. Things that we don't want to do is down here. Let's say you're around here. That's an issue, because for one, you're feeling stressed because you have to get these things done, but you constantly are craving that like dopamine. So you're stressed, you're anxious, you're just like, and then sometimes you have these things that you want to do, but you sit on your phone and watch TikTok, and that's an issue. That is a big issue. So my whole point of bringing it up is like, this gap right here that we have, it shouldn't be like this. In my opinion, I feel like it shouldn't be like this. I feel like it should be more like this, you know? I feel like we need to be able to limit and discipline ourselves so that we don't become reliant on social media. We don't become reliant on these instant gratification, instant like dopamine feeders, like fast food or social media, like I've said, or even like something like texting someone instantly. That is a dopamine feeder. I mean, it just is. And I obviously I'm grateful for things like that, but there's also the downfall and, you know, downside to having all that. And so my whole point of wanting to do this and bringing it closer is so that when there's things that need to get done and things that I know that I have to do to get done, it doesn't make me feel so bad about myself. It doesn't feel like, oh, I need to go watch TikToks, or I need to go eat some junk, or do anything that feeds my dopamine in the meantime, because these things down here, it's gonna feed your future way out there, and you have to make sacrifices. That's just how it is. And that's what I mean by controlling my emotions. And you're getting, like, obviously you're asking, how in the world does that heartbreak feeling relate to like everything that you're talking about now? Well, if you think about it, that whole process of heartbreak and having to deal with all those things and telling yourself like, do this because it's going to be better for your future, it's the same thing, right? Up here you have the emotion of, I want that right now happiness. I want that right now happiness because it's better that way. And then down here you have the decision that you're gonna make that'll better your future. Lowering it, it'll be easier to sacrifice that current happiness to you know, have a better future for yourself. And that's all what it's about. Every emotion that we have, every feeling we have, I don't want to have control over it, but I want to have a say as to how I want to feel, you know. But there's a lot that you kind of got to do, and there's a lot that's gonna need improvement, especially because of the society we live in. All these things that I'm saying that are dopamine feeders, I mean, they're just there. Like, sometimes they're just handed to us, and we're gonna have to say no thank you, just because that's how today's society just is, which is fine, but to a certain extent I feel like it's unfortunate because we don't really get to hear ourselves. We don't really get to listen to what our body really wants. We don't get to say, hey, that's not going to be good for us, you know. If you guys are still watching this video, that just tells me that, I mean, this is a true thing that happens. I mean, it's like you want to hear someone else's perspective, and that's why you're on this video right now. And I commend you guys for staying, because everything I'm talking about actually correlates to why most people still wouldn't be in this part of this video. I mean, we're so used to the short time dopamine feeders like TikTok, right? It's like you just scroll and scroll and scroll. Like, something be like 10 seconds takes too long, you scroll. But you guys are still here watching this, and that means you guys want to change too. That means you guys want to change too. And I mean, like I said, that's why I'm making this video. There's more people out there than just me who feel like this. I'm sure there's a lot, but they don't know where to start. They don't know where to start. And honestly, I don't know where to start either. But what I can say is there's many things that I'm gonna be doing to really get myself to a better point. The first one is gonna be just keeping myself busy. I feel like when we have all this free time, we have too much time to think about things, which is good to have time to think about things, but because we have so much going on, we also have too much time to think about the bad things, and that's where the issue starts to become a bigger issue. So one is just making sure my time is occupied with things that need to be done. The second one is just, so I use 3 main social media apps, which is Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok. Those are my social media platforms. So I use those 3 things, obviously. And then there's YouTube too, but I use YouTube for more informal things, which I feel like is a good start. And then you also have TV too. Those are instant dopamine feeders. I mean, we see these life perspectives of other people and other cartoons and all that, which, you know, I'm not saying don't stop watching TV, but have control over how much you watch. So another thing that step I'm gonna take is kind of just saying what social media is will be the hardest for me to get rid of, and that's probably gonna be TikTok. So instead of that being the app that I delete, I'm going to limit myself to like an hour 30 a day. Second most is Instagram. I already did this, but I deactivated my Instagram and tossed that off. And normally I don't like telling people when I do that, because you know what happens is, for some reason, whenever I tell someone I'm gonna do something, it just doesn't stick. Like, I'll have it gone for a week and then just get it back. But I don't think of it as telling people when I'm telling you guys. I think of it me kind of just putting it out there, I guess. I don't know, it's a little different. But no, and then you got Snapchat. I don't really go on Snapchat that much, so you know, I'm totally fine just keeping it and not putting a limit, because it's not like I'm normally on it. And if I catch myself kind of resorting to that because I don't have these other apps, I will put a limit. And it's also a way to communicate, so I'll just keep Snap. But limiting TikTok, getting rid of Instagram, and kind of just, you know, leaving Snap there, that's a step. So on top of filling up the schedule, doing that, that's already a jump start. And then I have other things that I do. So I work out. That's a good way of keeping yourself going. And then other things, and then this is like my other big thing, is having a sleep schedule. We stay up at night on these apps and stressing and thinking about all these things, and that's an issue. That's where all the issues become. Like, think about it, right? Most of the time when you're sad about something or thinking about something that is definitely not bringing you up, it's at night. It's sad at like those dark late hours, you feel me? So what you need to do is get rid of that time zone as to where you feel that. So what I'm doing is just having myself go to sleep earlier, waking up and working out, and that kind of just fills in that time, you know? And it'll help me throughout the day just have energy. So there's that. And I don't know, things that really are known to give dopamine, like going out to parties and, you know, doing all those things, I'm gonna really try to limit myself, just so like this right here can be lowered. I really just want to be able to have control over my life and my future, and to really do that, you're gonna have to sacrifice a lot of these things. But yeah, I'm probably not gonna make any videos on unless you guys really want a video, and I don't expect this video to go viral. I know there's a lot of Too Smooth fan members that are interested in, you know, like the way my life goes, and I just want to let you guys know how it is. But like I said, I don't expect this video to become like, you know, crazy popular or anything, but I do want you guys to know. So unless you guys really ask me for an update in the future, I might do it, but I'm kind of just gonna keep this as my mentality for a little while, you know, especially since 2024 just started. Thank you guys for watching this video. It was honestly hard for me to do, mainly because I did do a lot of talking about like how I feel about things, but you know, it's kind of nice to get off my chest, and it was easier too, because if I was talking to someone, you feel me, like I definitely wouldn't have been able to say all these things. Definitely not. But talking to you guys, it's just so much easier. Anyways, I want you guys to not just pray for my success and my happiness. I want you guys to not just pray for you guys' success and happiness. I want you to go out there and actually make a change to better yourself. I want you guys to live good futures. I want you guys to enjoy life. And it's all about taking that first step. And that first step is realizing that this is an issue in your life and things gotta happen for there to be change. Anyways, if you guys are here not for the hair content, then I mean, you can subscribe or do whatever. But I mean, if you guys love my hair content, go ahead and subscribe, you feel me? But yeah, I will see you maybe in a different video. Peace.